Welcome to a guided meditation for coping with anxiety on Declutter the Mind. Anxiety is a natural stress response that everyone experiences, but when it becomes overwhelming, it can interfere with our daily lives and well being. Today, we're going to practice recognizing anxiety as it arises and then learning to work with it rather than against it, and developing a sense of calm stability that you can return to whenever you need it. And so let's begin here by finding a comfortable seated position, resting your hands in your lap, sitting upright but with your back comfortable, and then gently closing your eyes. Starting here by simply noticing the body breathing all on its own, the natural flow of the breath, each inhale and exhale that passes. We don't need to change anything about our breath. We're just observing it as it is right now. And we can notice the sensation of air entering through our nostrils and the gentle release as you exhale. And if your mind is busy with anxious thoughts here, that's completely normal. We simply acknowledge that the mind is active and then gently bring our attention back to the breath. And continuing here to observe the body breathing all on its own. If it helps to maintain grounded attention, you can count each breath that passes up until 10 and starting over. So counting on each inhale, you can go 1 on the inhale, then exhale, then 2 on the inhale, then exhale, and so on, up until 10 before starting over. And if you lose track or the mind has become caught up in thoughts, you can gently bring the mind back to the breath and starting the count over. And whenever you notice that you've become lost in thought, you bring your attention back gently without judging your thinking, without becoming frustrated about the thoughts. We notice them Allow them to pass all on their own, and then bring our attention back to the body, breathing. And now let's take some time here to work with our anxious thoughts directly. And so, for the next few moments, instead of trying to stop or control anxious thinking, we will practice observing these thoughts with curiosity rather than judgment. And so, whenever an anxious thought arises, try to notice it as if you are a neutral observer. You might mentally note thinking or worrying, and then gently return your attention to the breath. And if it helps, you can give your anxious mind and thinking a fun name to detach yourself from this persona whenever it arises. So you can think, anxious Amy. There's anxious Amy again, appearing, showing up right on cue. Hi, anxious Amy. And then allowing her to pass all on her own. And it might seem silly, might seem weird, but that weirdness and silliness can help us detach ourselves from these thoughts. It helps to remember that we are not our anxious thoughts. We are the awareness that can observe them. And this distinction is crucial for managing anxiety effectively. And so, whenever that persona arises, you can greet it, say hello to it, be compassionate and kind to that side of you, but not getting caught up in it or allowing it to have power over you. And so giving it a silly name can be one way for it to lose its power. Another way is to note or label the thoughts whenever they arise, and then gently bringing your attention back to the breath. So when a thought arises that's anxious, we can label it as thinking or worrying, and then gently return our attention to the breath. And if you notice your mind spinning stories about future problems or catastrophic scenarios, remind yourself that these are mental events, not facts. Anxious thoughts often feel urgent and true, but they're just electrical activity in the brain. And so, in this moment, we continue breathing steadily, using each exhale as an opportunity to let go of any tension. Each inhale is a moment of renewal. And whenever we notice the mind gets pulled into thoughts, we gently bring it back to the breath. And so the goal isn't to never feel anxious again. Anxiety is a normal human experience. The goal is to change our relationship with anxiety so that it doesn't control your life or decisions. And so take a moment to appreciate yourself for taking this time to develop these skills. Managing anxiety is an ongoing practice, and every moment you spend developing mindful awareness is valuable. And so gently bringing our attention back to our surroundings, to any sounds, points of contact we're making with the chair or the floor. And then when you are ready, gently opening your eyes and noticing how you feel. Thanks for sitting, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again for taking the time to practice. If you've enjoyed this practice, please be sure to like and subscribe. You can also join and become a member and receive access to courses and more. Head on over to declutterthemind.com for more and download our free iOS and Android app.